Xin chao. What's up, everybody? So, should you move abroad after the pandemic and you're able to travel? My opinion, yes. Do I think age matters that much either? No. I think if you're finding yourself in a rat race, you're a bit depressed, you can't keep up with the bills, it might be time for you to go check out another country for a while. Remember, nothing's permanent. You don't have to go and say, oh, I'm going to go live in, for example, I'm in Vietnam forever. You can go and just test it out. Do your research, figure out what place would be good for you and where you can make your dollar go the longest. I had already been to Saigon, so we'll tell my story a few times, and I loved it. And I loved how cheap everything was. And I already knew the apartments were super affordable. And I was coming from, you know, Venice Beach, where everything was really expensive. Xin chao. Xin chao. So for me, it was like a no-brainer once I started kind of running out of money in America and things were going downhill for me. I had no tough time making that decision. And I really enjoy Vietnam. If I was choosing, I would move to either, money depending, Japan, Korea, or Vietnam. I really like Saigon because, you know, you can get a really decent apartment for $500. You don't have a car payment, you don't have all these debts. Everybody drives a motorbike out here. So you have the motorbike. There's not as much accumulation of bills, overhead, the debt. It's easier to not get in debt here. The list of things is so much better. I haven't had financial worries in a while. And believe me, I don't make much, you know. I probably make $1,000 a month, maybe a little bit more, and that's plenty. It pays the rent, a little bit to go out and do stuff, pays for the food. You know, you don't have to live super large here. It's like living in a Midwest city, but in a big city with the capability of doing anything you want, which is pretty awesome. What do we got here? Cuba? Which way are we going to go? Let's check out the market again. Let's check out the market again. Now that we're shooting on the proper rig, so it won't be all bouncing around. 5 o'clock. Okay. Kind of just walking around the block here. So yeah, you should want to move and get the experience too, because you can't really, you know, I used to take month vacations. You can see a lot in a month, but when you're somewhere for 6 months to a year, you really start to learn culture, the language, all of the good stuff. So that's your pros. I mean, it's really not a bad idea. If you're looking to save money, Vietnam's definitely a place to look into. I mean, Saigon's the more expensive of all the cities. You can go to Da Nang and your money will go a lot farther, or even Dalat and money goes even further. So it's about where you pick in each one of these countries too. I'm a city boy. I like the city. You know, I lived in Chicago and then I lived in LA for a long time. I'm used to cities. I like cities. I like access to a lot of things if you want to do a lot of things. Access to me is important. I want to be able to go and do whatever I want to do when I can do whatever I want to do. I want to have access to a nightlife if I want a nightlife. That's pretty much open 24/7, which you have here in District 1. You can party whenever you want. Also, Japan would be an option for me. If you're a person that is like a nomad that's making a bunch of money, or just a person that can work remotely and make a lot of money, Japan's a great option. Especially if you like all 4 seasons of weather. Japan offers that as well. In Saigon, you mainly just get, you know, summer, which is another thing I like about it. That's what I liked about Los Angeles too. The rainy season can be long or short. It really depends here. But I think it's a good move. I mean, I think you've got to experience, do other cultures, live your life. You don't want to be 50 and go, shit, I just ran a company, a little company forever. Never really got the vacation. Oh, I saved up a couple $100 grand, but I don't really have anything to accumulate for my life story as far as just being outside of America. I would also say, you know, the experience is amazing. I've been here in Vietnam for a year and a half, a little over, and I couldn't be happier. I mean, each week something new and something discovered. Xin chao. You always break them up with the Xin chao. Let's see. Ooh, sorry. I was testing the gimbal. Are we sideways? Making sure we're on. We're on a new setup here, so we're making sure it's juicy. Also, you know, why stay somewhere for one place for so long? If you're especially a single person, male or female, and you want to experience new things, go move around, live other places. Figure out a way to make sure you got your coin each month. The video before this will be, you should start a YouTube, or you should start live streaming pretty much. So figure out a way to make income, or figure out a way to get a job wherever you're moving to. In most of Southeast Asia and Asia, you can get a teaching job if you get a TEFL certificate and you have like some basic college degree. In Vietnam, you can pretty much get it with just a TEFL degree. Granted, it doesn't pay as high, but it's very doable. So I would recommend, if you were like me, I don't need a motorbike. I'm holding the camera set up, dude. If you're like me though, and you're in your 30s or 20s and you had no girlfriend, you had no purchases, you didn't have big things to get rid of, or even if you do have big things to get rid of, even if you have a house to get rid of, or cars. I had a car, I got rid of that thing, no big deal. I got rid of all my stuff. I sold everything I had to come move and live here, and I don't regret it at all. I don't miss any of the stuff I had, not even in the least amount. Who's gonna run the light? They are. Let's see. Let's go up here. And it's nice to have a change, man. Like, I love being in places for long term. Like, every time I travel around the world, I go, oh, I could live here for a while. And, you know, I decided to pull the trigger on Vietnam. Couldn't be happier. But you can move to anywhere. You can move to Europe, wherever. I don't know prices of shit in Europe, though. But I imagine you can find some pretty dope places in, like, Italy or something that are cheap, too. Vietnam's, you know, the people are really nice. There's a bunch of caveats, but for the most, it's pros instead of cons in Vietnam. And I'm pretty happy here. Pretty glad I moved here. Don't regret moving here in any kind of way. I don't miss much about America. You know, if you're in a major city, so like say you move to Seoul, or you move to Tokyo, or you move to Saigon, you're gonna have access to a lot of American style products if you need them. Fast food even, you know, you can get quite a taste of home in the 3 cities I just listed. Those are the 3 cities I know the most about, so that's why you hear me consistently say them. But yeah, I was fed up with America. I was fed up with paying high rent. I was fed up with having crazy bills. I was fed up with the car payment. I was fed up with all the insurance payments. I was just tired of it all. And here, you know, you can get an apartment for $500. You can get health insurance for 1 year for less than $1,000. You can get a dental implant for $200. That's just as quality as one back home. You can go to the dentist and get your teeth cleaned for like $8. I think it's less than that. It's like $4. So I mean, the price range is the world of difference if we're talking about Vietnam. I don't know about like what that stuff costs. I know you can get an apartment in Tokyo for as little as $700-800. A tiny, so we're talking tiny little apartment, but it's super possible. So yeah, these are just all things to think about, you know? Why not? Is how I look at it. I would most definitely choose Vietnam if you're on a budget like me, if you have financial problems, if you don't want to be barricaded or barraged with all the stuff that's happening political wise in America and protest wise. None of that stuff exists here. No one talks politics ever. That's completely off the table. It's kind of nice, you know, no one's talking about all this stuff. And I'm not trying to shit on America in any way, you know, I'm a proud American still. But you'll find your life will, for me, could drastically improve. Just the financial freedom alone is enough to where it makes me super happy I chose to be here. I got lucky, I found a really good girlfriend too. And if you're a guy or a gal, I'm sure you can do the same thing. I'm sure that's not too difficult of a thing to do. You just have to try and want it. I was thinking about doing a video of how to meet a Vietnamese girl, but there's so many creepy dudes that do that stuff, so I think I'm gonna stay away from that. We're gonna stay away from that. But it was just a passing thought I had. So yeah, in closing, make your mind up, start selling your stuff, pick a destination, figure out what things cost in that place, and go for it. Ideally, you'd want to visit first, but I mean, there's so much YouTube content on the 3 cities I've talked about that you can pretty much research it. You know, some people don't like Seoul. I like Seoul. I could be fine as an expat living in Seoul. I wouldn't have an issue with it. But some people find that, you know, they're off-putting, which isn't the case. They tend to just mind their own business, so you have to kind of strike up a conversation with them first in order to get that kind of lubricated. But that's another topic. That's neither here nor there, and maybe we'll talk about that at some other point. But this video is just supposed to be inspirational to those that maybe want to leave the rat race of America and move to Vietnam or Asia or Europe or wherever you want to move. And I'm going to tell you, yes, you 100% should do it, especially if you don't have a wife, especially if you don't have kids. It's so much easier that way. Life can be just as good in other places than America. So, food for thought. Leave a comment if you want. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. If there's any information I missed and you want to know, just kindly put it in the comments, and maybe I'll shoot another video or just reply to it in the comments. All right, peace out.